Okay, well, welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We just had a few little items we had to purchase here, namely Lyrium, so we can get rich. Gotta slam another cough drop real quick. Go check on our, actually, we're right by the tower, so we can go sell that Lyrium real quick. And then we're gonna go check our stash.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can get you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
I don't see anything too great.
You have a barbed tongue, Warden.
I owe you no explanation. There is no writing on my forehead that says, "Please, guide me."
You are traveling with these people. It behooves you to be civil.
You are too transparent, old woman. Do not bring up our entanglement.
Come on, you've rested enough. We need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Oh, it's you! You saved the circle. I'd kiss your feet if you didn't look as though you'd kill me if I did that. You'll settle for a handshake, won't you? Maybe a kiss on the forehead, eh? Rogek? Well, he's a personal friend, and sometimes we, correspond. Did he, have anything for me? Yes, I'll take it off your hands right now. What about 50 sovereigns? That's a good price, no? Look, I have 65 sovereigns and this dagger I stumbled upon in the tower. Will that do? Done and done. You have your gold, and I have my lyrium. Everyone's happy. Out of curiosity, do you know why this lyrium took so long to get here? Dwarves and their politics. Always causing trouble. How is the situation now? I see. Well, I just wanted to know if I should expect another late delivery. Well, mages need lyrium for spells and things. Nothing you'd know about. I suppose you did at that. Well, yes, but you see, the Templars use lyrium too. They cannot manipulate natural energies like mages can, but they need to be able to fight us. The big problem with lyrium is that it has diminishing returns, and the Templars become dependent on it.
You're taking advantage of the Templars, encouraging them. And for money, you despicable, profiteering crook!
If it wasn't me and Rogek, someone else would do it. Those that know what I do have good reason not to get me in trouble. You're blackmailing me? Fine, take this. It's all I have on me at the moment. Now just leave me alone, please. This just isn't my day.
Should have demanded the clothes off his back, too.
So, you know that I'm a Templar, right?
I believe what I heard was that you were not, in fact, a Templar. You were trained as one before you became a Grey Warden.
That's right, but I still have all the abilities of one, of course. That doesn't make you nervous.
Should it? I am no apostate. Perhaps you should be directing this question at Morrigan.
She claims not to be afraid of me, or anything, really. But you've had more experience with the Templars than her. I know how mages can sometimes...
The Templars serve a function. If what has happened at the tower proves anything, it is that we mages can be dangerous, even to ourselves.
That's one way of looking at it.
And regardless.
You really killed all those abominations? I didn't think it was possible. I thought we'd all die here. I'm sure you need supplies after that, don't you?
I'm not above to duping those, so that's why I don't use them yet. If BioWare had wanted to patch it out, they would have. Though they finally did patch out being able to dupe stacks of items. Let's see, where to? Oh yes. Soldier's Peak to see if our armor is magically upgraded. It is indeed. There's two of them are. Looks like it needs a couple more days. Need two more of those for that one quest. God damn it, just him again. Shit, I swear I'm losing my mind. I forgot to talk to the Grand Enchanter or what.
But one world, one life, one
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board? I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste. The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts. When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive. Of course, sir. On what topic? Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event. Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Divinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it. I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more. I know, it's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
all men are the highest kings, those who bring Howe without are ready and cursed by
That'll go all the way back across to ask the first enchanter if that dwarf can come and study.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the Circle is well on its way to recovery. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered. I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine. I'm to keep this, am I? Fine. I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
Oh, marvelous.
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you?
Yeah, there's one thing I was going to ask her, because I need to get this dialogue tree opened up to give her this gift.
I await your command. At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees. Such simple pleasures will only enthrall for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds. She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been. They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Well, just happen to look what I have here, Morgan.
What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift, not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful, truly.
Oh, she's tearing up.
Something on your mind? Of course. I didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? It was Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Oh, it wasn't always like that. Does it have to be serious and deadly all the time? Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you. I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Ticked him off somehow there.
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask? Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow? Really? Why? That's a lot of trust to put in someone who tried to kill you. Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just too shifty. What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big. Yet he doesn't seem quite so bad as the Chantry tells us. According to them, his philosophy is vile and evil. Yet he seems so reasonable. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you? I'm not so sure that his regret means the same as it would for us. The Kunari sense of honor is a bit hard to grasp. For me, anyway. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision? That's one way to put it. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life. Good for you, maybe. Her, I'm not so sure about. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said. And you're just going to let her follow us around? A Maleficar and make her knows what else? It is not. All right, maybe it is a little. You may have a point. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
We'll get our monies.
Lord Harrowlant is the voice of tradition and stability. Lord Balin is the voice of... News of the hour. Lord Harrowant's insinuations against Lord Balin reveal the truth. Lord Harrowant...
They took a wrong turn somewhere.
The Assembly is in session.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowant, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Ferendurm, Harrowant's man, can be found at the Harrowant estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin's second, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Certainly not gonna help Balin, so I'm not even bother talking to that guy. I'm just gonna steal his shield again later in the game. That's what I pickpocketed off of him. He's one of the most valuable pickpocketees in the game.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulan Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
Very well.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.